We are happy to announce that this episode of the SWW Show is partially brought to you by Humble Bundle. Well, not really. We are part of the Humble Bundle referral program, and we just wanted to say that if you like really cheap games and maybe helping charity pending the Humble thing going on, all you have to do is go to humblebundle.com/partner equals SWW. That's right, humblebundle.com/partner equals SWW. And you just do your normal stuff, and it just kind of helps us get a couple bucks here and there. Maybe it helps AJ get his lights. Maybe it's Mike camera. Maybe we actually pay Corey for helping us out. But again, if you're going to go buy games anyway, it might be worth checking out.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode number 54 of the SWW Show. This time we're actually recording it live as on our Twitch channel, or on my Twitch channel. Mike is in what appears to be a hoodie. I am in my national champions garb for State University.
And first off, it's not just hoodie. I also have a shirt on too. It's turtles. They're in chalk form.
God, you're such a fucking nerd. Who would have thought you were the one who's an absolute dingleberry?
So yeah, we're here to talk. To get us started with what we have played. AJ, let's start with you. What is GOT?
This is so backstory. I finally got a PS5. Because they were finally in stock. So I'm playing through a bunch of games that I didn't play on the PS4, including Ghost of Tsushima.
That's what. Okay, I think I should know what that is. I just could not.
Yeah, I just shorthanded. I knew what it. I needed to know what it was. So, yeah, dude, that game is so fun.
Let's say that. I think that's kind of the general consensus.
That game is like it's obviously there's difficult parts of it, right? Like the combat can kind of get a little out of hand in terms of it's hard to control from time to time. Like it's not an arcade game, right? Where baddie lines up, you fight them. Baddie lines up, you fight them, or two will come at you, but their attacks are like planned. So that they're staggered, so you can kind of counter one into another. Yeah,
it is one of those weird ones where they kind of.
So it's like, oh, hey, here's there's the parry system, right? So it's like you need to break their guard, and you'll parry one, and then you'll like get shot in the back by an archer, which throws everything off. So it can get difficult at times.
Did you try that multiplayer piece on, or are you just playing the single player currently?
I'm just playing the single player. I did hop into the Legends just to get the tutorials out of the way.
Okay.
So that if I did want to play it, I could. Yeah.
Nice. That is exciting. And it says here, obviously, you're playing more MLB, which I feel like we talked about last time.
This is...
Oh, wait, not?
No, I hadn't played 23 yet.
Okay.
This is the first time I've spent $70 on a video game.
What? My God. How does that feel?
Because believe it or not, the game made by Sony isn't included in PlayStation Plus, the top tier.
Yeah, they don't do that, though.
Which is mind-boggling. It's on Game Pass. Which... kind of sucks, but it is what it is. This is the first like cross next gen MLB that I've played, because 22 was a cross gen as well, and that introduced some of the old features of like the park builder and things like that. So you could design your ballparks and things like that. Which is cool. This 123 though takes it a step further and does the thing that I thought probably would never be done because it hadn't been done before. It actually includes a bunch of the Negro League stuff,
Oh, right. I remember them talking about this.
which is awesome because for people that aren't baseball fans, it's really hard to describe like the impact that the Negro Leagues had. Just because it's a really hard 1-to-1, right? It's not. There's really no other sport that had it the same way, where there was just a league that was just better, right? Like all the players were better, but no one knew them because they were black. So it's really cool that they're honoring that. You know, they've got, I think, almost all of the teams. So, and a bunch of the players, which is cool. Like that part
Can
is
you
awesome.
play them against regular MLB, or they're like?
I
in
haven't
their
tried
own
that
little...
yet. I've just played,
Okay.
because it's a separate mode.
Right. It's kind of like, it reminds me of, didn't NBA do something with like the females league and stuff, but like
Yeah,
you couldn't
so-
play against each males?
Yeah, FIFA and
FIFA
NBA
maybe.
2K
Okay.
have female leagues, female rosters. And as far as I know, they can only be female. You can't do a intergender. I think it would be really cool though to take the Monarchs, the Kansas City Monarchs, which is arguably the best Negro League team, and put them up against like, I don't know, the Rangers or the Yankees.
Like I understand that logistically it's annoying because rules and stuff, but I think there's like some sort of utility of like, especially in this, like just letting people do it. And like just choose rule sets, be like,
Yeah.
all right, we're choosing just the rule set from this year and just go.
Yeah, I mean,
And like sure, a team will have an advantage, but like it doesn't matter.
well, and the nice thing about baseball is the rules haven't really changed. In 150 years, so
So I gotta ask, does this game have the pitch clocks?
not at least in Road to the Show,
Okay.
which is almost exclusively what I play these games for. The career mode, because it's just, I mean, it's endless, right? I think it's like a 15-year career that you can play out, which is just insane.
Because you're playing as you, the person, right? Not
Yeah,
as...
you play as a. You can, so either now you can create a player, you can use a current player, or you can import a created player.
Okay.
It's like going,
Back.
like outside of the mode, creating a player, and then playing their career. Which I think is pretty cool because, you know, there's some people that want to do the whole face scan and all that and spend the time to make their one guy. And then that you can just be like, hey, just pull all that in. So you don't have to do it again. It's nice.
Nice. That's exciting. And then lastly on your list, we are seeing, of course, not surprised at all, the Jedi Survivor. So I gotta ask you, what are you playing it on, and how buggy is
PC.
it? Is it as bad as I heard?
I've had
Like, I didn't hear it's bad. I meant, like, the PC port is the thing I heard was bad.
3 times where it crashed to desktop. And all of them were like, I kind of broke combat encounters, and that's what made it crash.
Okay.
I haven't just had it like, oh, I'm standing there and I take a step forward and it crash. I mean, because it's Unreal, so like that's not really. It can, but
It can, but yeah,
It's not-
usually it's the system is
Yeah.
eating memory, yeah.
So yeah, I had a crash immediately after a boss battle and that crashed the desktop. I went to bed for the night. I mean, it was like 10 o'clock when I was playing that, so I was tired. I started downloading the update.
Because they've been doing a few hot updates, right?
So while this game was coming out on a Friday, at one point in time, this game took up over 300 gigs of an SSD of mine.
What?
Yeah. It's like 140 gig download or something like that. But its day one patch was 128 gigs.
Did it just repackage the whole thing?
I think it did. Because, I mean, now it's like, it takes up, 127 gigs or something like that. So.
That's.
Yeah.
God. Okay, how is it, though? Is it good? Is it like,
I mean,
it's
it's
the
that
actual
again,
game is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They give you like this kind of grappling hook style thing for maneuvering, which is fun. And the one thing I will say about the grappling hook and what it does for the movement puzzles is that there are times where you don't need it. Like you can kind of bypass the point where you need it, and then other times where it's like clearly, okay, this jump is, double jump is just far enough to trigger the distance. So they kind of, they have some suspense, but not a crazy amount. I did find it interesting that they don't. So I have Origin Access or whatever it's called, like the EA thing. They don't tell you what all you get from that. You just you all of a sudden go to a workbench and you've got like 4 of each thing, and then a deluxe color kit. So you don't know, like, oh, hey, this is I mean, you can tell, right? Like, it's not named like Luke Skywalker. It's named like The Hobbit, or is that what it is? It's something like that. Like, it's a name, and then so there's 3 that unlock with the deluxe edition, and then I think there's a total like 19 or something like that. So you have 4 if you have the deluxe edition, because you have your starter and then the 3 add-ons. And then it's 15 other pieces for each thing. So, I mean, there's a shit ton of collectibles, right? Like, you're constantly finding them, you're constantly popping them, solving puzzles to get them. I have 12 hours into the game, 11 and a half, 12 hours into the game. And let me just look up the mission log to kind of tell you like where I'm at. What would I want? Wiki. We'll do the IGN guide. Let's see. Walk through. Research. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's saying here I've got 4 more main missions.
So this game's then what, 15-ish, 16 hours probably for the main?
I mean, I'll probably be at 25 to 30 by the time I'm done.
Okay.
Because I've been doing a lot of side stuff. I mean, of the 11 and a half hours that I have, I've probably done an hour and a half of side stuff, so I'm probably like effectively 10 hours in.
Okay.
There's side missions, there's the Rancors, which are like the side bosses, and they give you extra upgrades and things like that.
So the thing I'm curious about in a game like this is it's always like if Metroidvania and you get like a sequel. It's how does this game handle the idea of you earned a bunch of powers last game? Does it like magically rip them away like some games? Does it do like the Batman thing and now you just have all those old ones and now you grow them?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's literally like it's a sequel. It's Cal picks up with all of the powers that he had at the end of Fallen Order. And which the funny thing is, like, I watch videos of people playing this game, and they're like flipping around, using the Force all the time, and like barely getting hit. Meanwhile, I'm playing this game like in the trenches. I barely use any abilities. I'm just swinging that shit.
It's you with Spider-Man. You with Spider-Man. You did not care.
Yeah, I've never streamed out Spider-Man. I should.
But I've seen you play it.
Yeah, I should the next time that
don't use any power.
Yeah, I should the next time that I have a solo. I should play some Spider-Man on stream. But yeah, I just like I never use the suit power. Mm-hmm. I barely use gadgets in that game. Like, because I'm a button masher when it comes down to it for a lot of these games. So like, once I just get into the rhythm of like, okay, block, 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 strike, block, block, strike, like, I kind of stick to that. And they do give you a buddy in this.
Oh, interesting.
So it can make combat encounters a little easier. But you only have them for the scripted missions.
It's not like when you're around the world and stuff.
Yeah, as far as I know, right? I haven't reached a point where, there's a potential that, oh, hey, you can call a buddy in.
That'd be kind of funnier, especially the context of Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, the thing about this one is, like, you pick up a crew. To kind of just break it down, right? Like, the story is the crew from Fallen Order go their separate ways at the end of the game. So you are kind of starting over with a new crew. But you end up meeting most of the crew from the first game. And so you get at least one new crew member on the ship, at where I'm at least. And I could see you being able to call him in.
That makes I can see you get a new one
because he travels with you, right? Like it's not like, oh hey, he's limited to X planet. He's in the ship. But yeah.
Nice.
I will beat it and not go back to it the same way that I did with Fallen Order, where I beat the story, did a little bit of the side stuff, and said, no, I'm good. Because I'll move on to something else. But also, nice. It's currently my game that I'm playing. Meanwhile, I've got like Ghosts and Bug Snacks and God of War Ragnarok that I need to start, and Forbidden West that I need to start, and it's just like I have all these games on my PS5 that are sitting there downloaded that I need to start playing. But Jedi Survivor dropped, and I'm like, I know that's going to be like 20 hours.
Yeah, that's usually I feel that would be like the end long. That makes sense.
One that I forgot. Miles Morales. Speaking of
You
Spider-Man.
haven't played that? You didn't play that one?
Nope.
Wow.
No, I was going to wait for the PS5 to play it. So.
Oh, okay.
Because, it dropped kind of around
It was
the PS5.
It was that weird window, yeah.
It's like, okay, I'll just wait to get a PS5 to play that. And now,
So what do you think?
almost 3 years later.
What do you think of the Miles?
I'm like an hour and a half, 2 hours into it.
I think it's very much. He has some different powers, but it's very much just more Spider-Man. Was kind of my general thought on it. Like, it's good, but it's very much just more Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll go Jedi Survivor, Miles Morales.
Okay.
And then finish up Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Survivor and Morales are the shortest to finish. So,
okay. Nice.
Because did you ever play Tsushima?
No. It was one of the. I had some friends who really liked it, but I never got.
Yeah, I just opened the North Island.
But I did
or
know
the north part of the map, so I don't know where that's at in terms of the story. I may be like
halfway. No,
I may be like just over a third of the way through the story, but so I will. To finish off my stuff, Ghost of Tsushima had this thing that I absolutely hate, where you work your way towards a main objective and you liberate stuff along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just has a thing of like, oh, the Mongols just took it over. And I'm like, seriously? So I have to go back and do it again?
That just upset you.
Yeah. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing these again. Like, I got the achievement for liberate X territories for the one island. So I'm like, I'll just do the achievement for the North Island and I'll be good.
Nice. That is exciting. But yeah, getting to mine, the only big one I want to talk about is, actually, I was playing Horizon Forbidden West, because I think I might have played it a bit, but I never got super far in it. Just kind of restarted it. That is a good example of what's more Horizon. The big thing I want to talk about on that one, though, is I still think there is some, so it's obviously a very pretty game and stuff.
Yeah.
I think there is, I would argue, some visual confusion when you look at stuff of where to climb and go sometimes that I'm surprised wasn't talked about more. I think it's one of those games that bled its environmental trappings of jumping and movement so much into the environment that you're I need to climb this thing. You're how do I climb this stuff? How do I get through this?
Yeah, that's never fun. My dirty secret with Horizon was I never finished the first one. I know the ending, right? The ending got spoiled to me, but I was totally fine because I think I got the ending spoiled to me during a Game of the Year from Giant Bomb. And at the time, I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to play this. Right? So I was like, I don't care. I'll listen to this segment. And then it became a Plus game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, well, I guess, right, I'll start it and play it. But
I just think the other thing is, I think it's good because if you ever do jump into it, the first 10 minutes, it's very much here's what happened. You very much can walk into this, and it's they purposely were it doesn't matter. It matters, but they tell you about it.
Nice thing about Jedi Survivor, it's literally got an option on the main menu. Play the story. First game story, just it's a 5-minute video.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I think this is
There's
awesome.
something to that of at least because even just people who didn't play it, we don't always remember every little detail. Or there's so you're I kind of remember this game, but how much do I remember? And then
especially it was 4 years between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I definitely needed that refresher video.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Horizon. I suggest people go check it out. I'm enjoying it. I just think there's some. I think there's some visibility problems for sure in that game, but maybe I'm a minority on that one. Yeah. So let's jump into what we have seen. First review is Sisu.
Yeah.
What is Sisu?
This is that Finnish John Wick
Ooh, okay.
that's set in World War II. Literally the best description of it. That's exactly what it is.
You enjoying it? What do you,
Oh, dude,
did
it
you
was
enjoy
awesome.
it? Is it in English? Is it in like a different language?
It's in English. The Germans speak English. When they do speak in Finnish, and they never speak in German. It is subtitled,
Okay.
so it's not hard to watch.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they would be or not, just because the way that is, like, because like it's one of them usually finish like I don't know, kind of.
Dude, Finnish is just drunk English anyway, so
That's valid.
I mean,
That is.
Scandis say it's drunk Swedish, but Swedish is. I mean, if you know German, you can get by, more or less, with the Nordic languages. It's like knowing Spanish and getting by with Italian.
That makes sense. Like
It's not
like
they have
sure,
the same root, but there's a lot of pronunciations and words.
there's
that are
enough
referencing.
similarity.
Yeah.
There's enough similarities. You're like I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Like I get the idea of what they're saying. It really is though. I mean, like if we like go talk to people in like back like if we went to spots like in Australia where it's like probably the further out regions, it'd be kind of be a similar kind of. There's enough differences. Or like go to British pockets of British that isn't London, like like it's English, but is it?
The Scousers up in Liverpool.
Yeah, you hear them speaking. I'm like you're not speaking English, sir. I don't believe you. Like.
So that's going to be the secret, right? Like, Mike and I are going to go to some international convention, ideally Gamescom, and we're going to hear the craziest versions of English known to man, and we're just going to laugh and just do a little vlog, as the doc likes to call them.
And we just have to accept the truth of whatever they say.
Yeah. I mean, my German's halfway good enough to the point where, as long as they're talking slow, I'm good. When they start to speed up, I start to lose.
You'll start panicking.
Well, I'll get words, but not necessarily like a full sentence in the context. Yeah.
Nice. That is exciting. For me, I have two things on there that I want to talk about. The first being, I finally got around to watching The Menu.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yes! So The Menu, I'm convinced, is like the hidden gem of last year that I feel like not enough... Like, everyone saw the trailer and thought it looked good, but like, no, not enough people talked about this film.
Because I don't think people really knew what this film was about.
I didn't know. Until I started watching, I was like, wait a second, what?
Yeah.
The only reason I was suspicious because HBO marks it as a thriller, and I was like, that's interesting, and from there I was like, what is this film?
It is a thriller, though. Like,
It is. I like to think it's like a suspense thriller is what it is. I'm kind of avoiding the full twist, but it's suspense thriller. But it is a film that if it has all looked interesting, just watching.
That film is a perfect example of this movie has a twist, and as soon as you figure it out,
It's genius.
you're like, oh my god, this is awesome. This makes the movie 1,000 times better.
I already was interested, but yeah, once I realized what it actually was.
And the best part is, like, they don't even... I mean, they basically say exactly what the twist is, but they leave the best twist out, which is Anya Taylor-Joy's character.
Yeah.
And one of the others, where there's an insinuation, but they never right out say what the insinuation is. And you're like, okay, hold on, wait a minute. Is it? Isn't it? And then her whole character arc of just no selling the whole thing. Right, like, she fully no-sells us. And then when you find out the twist of what's going to happen, and Nicholas Hoult, right, that's Tyler, and that, and the reasoning there, you're like, oh, this dude's insane. Like, not Ralph Fiennes.
Oh, yes, but...
Like he's insane, but he has a plan, right? He's the
Right.
Joker, right? He knows exactly what he's going to do. It seems insane, but boom,
He
has a plan. And Tyler, like, you find out what's going to happen, and you're like, good lord, dude, you're doing this? This is what you're going to do? Okay.
Also, I want to know, so I watch on HBO Max, I generally want to know, how did a Disney distributed film end up on HBO Max?
Because HBO Max is the one who picked up the streaming for it.
Yeah, I want to know, like, that's such a weird...
That deal happened before it got a theatrical release, if I remember.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. It also is weird because this insane thriller film also is a Gary Sanchez production. So this film, like, from whom, like, who's involved and who all made it is wild.
It's also got a star-studded cast.
It's like a few A and then a bunch of B.
I mean, it's a few A right now, and then, like, all A-listers from 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, that's valid.
And you're like, oh, holy shit, they got them, they got them, they got them.
Yeah,
What's the budget for this film?
Like $5 million probably. $2 million. Like, this film does not. I think if I pull up the menu, do we know the budget for it?
I'm gonna say like 25 to 30.
It's 30 mil,
Yeah.
which, like, it made 80 million in the box office.
Because I mean, that film definitely had the feel of, hey, we just Airbnb'd a place for like a week and shot this.
And then we, like, either put it on the green screen or just went to the lake for some of the other shots.
Yeah. Like, there's what, like 6 sets probably?
Not even. Like, there's really, like... Because, like, so we leave the front of the house and the back house, like, keep showing. And, like, that could be one set. They could have really done that set.
I think that's just a house, right? Like,
That's right. Like, I think that's a real set. Just
Yeah.
because you could see them you could see through them, and it's like an open window thing and stuff. Like, it's very much like one big set.
yeah, it's definitely like that is a real house somewhere. Probably in Scandinavia, if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where the
I think
Ex Machina house is. That's in
okay.
Norway.
I was thinking because I forgot where it is, somewhere up there is where, like, the most awarded restaurant in the world is or something, and
Yeah.
to me it's funnier if they kind of reflect that.
But
But yeah, the other film I actually just watched last night is Big Night. Have you seen this film?
I don't think so.
It stars. It's directed by Stanley Tucci.
Okay.
It is about Stanley Tucci and Tony Shalhoub. They are owners of an Italian restaurant. It's like set. It's like set in the 50s, kind of in New Jersey, and it's just about them trying to keep this restaurant alive.
Interesting.
It also stars like a super young Minnie Driver. It is definitely a film I think is worth checking out, and if people are interested in that, like it is. I think it's a fun journey. It's definitely like one of those films with just like a slice of like here's a week of life. Like it's not like I think there's less of a coherent like through line of it. It's much more of like, hey, you're just kind of experiencing these people trying to survive for a few weeks.
People also ask, why is Big Night rated R? Some strong language.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason.
Characters drink and smoke.
Also, it stars a super young Mark Anthony, which we didn't realize that he acted, to be honest.
He's been in a lot.
Yeah, but like
In a
obviously
surprising
like a
number of
singer.
things, I should say.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of big stuff. I would suggest checking out Big Night also. Let me watch the trailer. If the trailer's your vibe, it's very much one of those, like, the trailer tells you the vibe of the movie.
Watch the menu, don't watch the trailer.
The trailer won't help you with the menu.
If anything, it's probably more confusing.
Yes, because I was excited because I saw the trailers.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, the big thing in it. But yeah, that's kind of all that stuff. Jumping into stuff. First, we have to announce... do you appreciate the way I wrote this first news, by the way?
So, the way that you put this is exactly the reference that I made when I found out at work. I told someone that Jerry Springer had died, and they're like, oh, really? I'm like, how are we going to know who the father is? And the person I thought was going to double over.
Oh, no, Jerry
I'm like,
Springer
it was a
is
funny
not.
joke, but it wasn't that funny.
God. Jerry Springer, former mayor of...
Cincinnati.
Yep.
WWE Hall of Famer.
Yep. I think I saw it because WE was tweeting about it. Like, that's why I saw the news.
What else?
Weirdly
Weirdly big overseas, like in the UK.
First off, I'm assuming for you too, are we all the right demographic where, like, you homesick from school and next thing you wake up from, like, a fever nap and next thing you know, you're watching Jerry Springer?
No, and I'll tell you exactly why. I would, when I was sick, I would roll out of bed to the couch, which is about 20 feet from where my bed was.
Yeah.
Lay down on the couch and turn on SportsCenter.
Ah, okay.
And fall asleep to that. Wake up to like the 10:30 SportsCenter. Switch it over to the Dan Patrick Show. Catch the rest of that. And then that finishes at noon. And then from noon to like 4, I would just channel surf.
Okay.
So, I mean, I would watch like the Steve Wilkos Show. I would watch Dr. Phil, Jerry Springer.
Steve Wilkos Show is just an off-brand Jerry Springer.
Well, I mean, he was a bodyguard for Jerry Springer.
I forgot that. Also, for people who don't know, like how, like everyone knows Jerry Springer. I want to know the amount of people who know, like, these, like, sub-variations of the show, like Steve Wilkos, and, like, there's a few other ones that people are like, how many of these are there?
They're cheap. I mean, shit, we're going to see a lot more of them now. WGA is on strike.
That's, yeah. I actually didn't write that down. Do you have any thoughts on that, kind of what we brought up?
I will keep it very simple because if I told my actual thoughts on this, we would be going for about 4 hours. I stand in support of my friends that are out there striking. The stuff that they are asking for is peanuts to what these companies make.
So I think there's a validity to that. I read at least the, like, contract, what they release, kind of what they want. Not knowing all of the terms, it's like one of those. I'm like I conceptually I agree with you, but it's like I wish I understood what half these terms meant.
Yeah.
I at least think there is a argument to be made from a PR point of view that if you're these entities striking and stuff, like, make it so the general public understands more what you're asking for.
And the WGA has been great about that. They are so transparent.
I might have saw, like, the term sheet that was, like, a more, like, in-industry term sheet, to be fair, but, like, the one I saw, I'm like, there was some of this, I'm like, I don't fully understand what this means, for sure.
Yeah. Well, they're just posting, like, here's what we're asking for, here's our response, and...
Mm-hmm. No, that was interesting to see, like, we agreed on this, we already accepted this part of the terms, we're not agreeing on this, like...
Yeah.
It's also, I am very curious, so, like, the last time this happened was 2007...
Yeah, 07,
and that was when, like, live TV was still a really big thing. Now that everything is streaming, like, I'm gonna be curious how much we notice versus don't, because now you just delay, like, a new Netflix series by 2 months. We wouldn't notice the same as, like, oh, this has to premiere in September.
So what you'll notice is, I think starting as we're recording this last night, all the late night shows are silent or they're running reruns.
That one's a big one. SNL's a big one.
Yeah.
But like the big shows that people talk about, I think we're not going to notice the same, just because they're not on those same schedules they used to be.
I mean, the big shows that are on like terrestrial TV or even cable, their seasons are going to be wrapping up within the next 3 or 4 weeks anyway.
But those are already done.
Yeah, that stuff's already done and dusted.
Mm-hmm.
We won't see it right away. We will see when those shows were supposed to come back.
Mm-hmm.
That they get delayed a long time.
Yeah, no, I expect we could see that stuff delayed. But it's interesting just because I think we're in a different era of like how some of that stuff, when we expect stuff to show up.
Yep.
Like now it's more likely that Netflix will drop a trailer and hey, the show comes out in 2 months versus we know in September our shows are coming back. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I could see that. I could also see, Netflix. What's the best way to put this? Netflix likes to buy a lot of stuff. They don't do a lot of stuff in-house. So all that stuff won't be made either. So,
Right.
There won't be stuff that Netflix can buy, like Squid Game, right? They bought Squid Game and distribute it here in the States. As far as I know, other WGA unions are out there striking.
I'm also going to be intrigued because I know some of them deal with unions. I thought, like, maybe not Amazon, but, like, some of the other smaller streaming services, like, were dealing with some non-union stuff, too. So I'm going to be very curious on that, too.
And non-union stuff is a great way to start. My first 2 projects were non-union. And in a way, they're nicer, but also there's zero protection. Whereas at least if you're on a union show, you know your schedule. You know you're going to shoot 4 hours, lunch for an hour, 4 hours, a break of some sort, and then 4, 8, 9 and a half. So you'd have 2.5 hours after your break that you would be shooting. So, what people don't realize is the WGA strike will impact them in a way that they never thought, because it affects movies as well.
There's a bunch of stuff. I'll be curious. I don't think anything this fall will be affected, but I bet you anything
that was
spring,
in production,
which tries spring onwards. I think fall stuff's pretty safe, even early winter at this point, I'm assuming.
Well, so the problem is if they have to do rewrites or reshoots.
Right.
You can't do that. So anything that is in post-production right now will still come out. Anything in any sort of production is shutting down. Or they're at least finishing up what they can and then shutting down. So, in much the same way that the pandemic caused
a bunch of delays,
a lot of bunching of stuff, this will be the same way. Also, people don't realize how close we got to the theater strike last year. Like that deal came in the 11th hour.
I do remember that being discussed.
If that had happened, that affected. I looked to see who was going to be fully affected by it. That was everything. That was all kinds of stage stuff. So even the company that I work for hires in for our events, we wouldn't be able to do events. Because the crew that they use is a union crew. So everything we would have had would have been No stage setup, none of that. No grip, no gaff. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. But, next thing.
This is probably the one time that you should support a union strike. If you're ever going to support one, support the Hollywood Boys.
I was definitely seeing people who, like, are not people who normally support it, being like, this is the one time I would.
Yeah.
Like, it's just be, like, because, like, the other stuff, like, there's a lot more, I think, politics and stuff kind of played into it. This one's, like, here's what we want, and, like, what's being affected, and kind of the reasoning why it's a little less. And also, it's I think it's easier to support the writers and the actors from a working class mentality, like, from that mentality, too.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to make it like writing one thing.
Right.
You know, you're not going to write one TV show and be set for life.
Mm-hmm.
The way that you could act in one series and be set for life. So.
Mm-hmm. That is valid. But yeah, next thing we got here. This has been a big thing all month. Obviously, with those rumors kind of going into it. Officially, WWE and UFC are both now under the same umbrella of Endeavor.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big thing. I don't know if you had any thoughts on that. To me, I think the big thing and UFC and WWE's filing, actually last quarterly filing came out. I think it was yesterday. They were doing, I think, wild numbers, especially with, at the same time, the collapse of TV is still, like, happening out. As we've been saying, right? The collapse of linear live TV. And I'm very interested, kind of, your thoughts on that. Because, like, to me, the other thing I think was interesting, too, on top of that, we also got some more sports numbers, and, like, sports are up, even with TV ratings collapsing.
Sports will always stay up.
But it's interesting to me that they're growing. It's not that they're staying the same. They're growing in the same way, like... And there's another one where it's like... I think this merger actually seems valid in the sense of all of us question WWE's leadership, but we tended to I think it's universal that people liked UFC's leadership and thought they were doing stuff correctly.
It's not as universal as you would think.
Really?
Yeah. Some people just hate Dana White.
That's okay. That's fair.
And Dana is very rough, but. I will say this. Fucking idiot on a crotch rocket. Dana White is very much like Vince McMahon in the sense that he supports his guys 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
If you slight him, you're done. It's basically a one-strike system. But, yeah, I mean, like, if they know you're a cash cow, they will support you through everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way the WWE has been for a very long time.
Right. Sometimes to a fault.
Yeah.
I think it's about...
Well, I mean, there's the famous quote. I think it was either JR or it might have been Jeff Jarrett, maybe. Talking about Vince, and they're like, Vince is a billionaire that's a millionaire.
Like, he's still rich, but...
Because he should be a billionaire, but, like, he pays for everyone's surgeries. Like,
mm-hmm.
If something happens in the WWE ring, you're good. It'll be taken care of. He really supports his guys, which
is good. Like, that's good behavior. We avoid problems with Vince. That's the good parts.
Yeah, I mean, my problems with Vince are Vince as a human being, not Vince as a businessman.
Right.
So.
But yeah, I think I'll be curious. I'm hoping it also means the product improves, and maybe at some point we nicely kick Vince out of there. But we'll see.
I'm curious what they're going to do for, like, because UFC has a deal with ESPN for the pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm. Do you think at some point this goes to that?
Well, so I'm curious, like, what does WWE do? Because they have their deal with Peacock, which they just re-signed, like, last year, I think it was.
Right. And I think it's for a couple years?
Yeah.
I thought.
they've got to be setting up for like an Endeavor service, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
WWE, UFC.
WWE tried that though.
The network was doing great for them.
It's just the Peacock deal is nicer.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Peacock deal was part of their TV contract.
That's right. I didn't think of that one.
So,
because like I just like sure they're the same company, but like I assume they kind of treated them more as separate entities.
yeah. The interesting thing with that would be because right now you need an ESPN Plus subscription, and then you have to buy the UFC events.
Okay.
If
Versus
they go
where, like the WE stuff's just on Peacock. Period.
yeah,
Right?
like it's just
there.
yeah.
You pay for Peacock, you got it.
Yep. Does UFC go the route of the WWE in that sense of sure you can still do a pay-per-view or you just sign up for a $10, we'll call it $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
$10 a month service and you get the UFC and WWE.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Or I would see the problem here, right? It's ESPN being Disney and it's Peacock being NBC. So these are companies that like would behave together because you get some sort of deal on that back end.
Yeah.
But that's
I think they
obviously
just splinter off, right? Like I think Endeavor just takes them, starts their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's $10 a month. Because God, can you imagine like, watching the Matt Riddle saga, right? Like being able to go back to his UFC days and see his fights there, and then into WWE. Same with Brock Lesnar. Like being able to watch Lesnar's whole career, starting from that 2002 SmackDown debut through his several UFC runs and into today. That's insane.
Yeah, I know that.
Also, I mean, the UFC owns Pride, right? So any of these guys that fought for Pride, like I think Lesnar fought in Pride a couple times.
Yeah, I think that he did.
So I mean, it's it's the same thing behind WWE buying WCW, right? Like they did that for the tape library. So use the tape library rather than just jingling it in front of fans. But
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see.
Next thing I got here for us of big stuff as it pulls up on my screen. We never talked about it. I just want to bring it up. Speaking of streaming stuff, HBO Max and Discovery Plus are now one service, or soon to be one service, just called Max. I'm assuming we both agree with that's the dumbest branding decision I've ever heard in my life.
It is, yeah.
Like just call it HBO. Just call it HBO.
Shit, just keep HBO Max.
Okay, even that's fine. But my point is, if you wanted to, call it HBO and just call it all HBO. And just be like, this is the HBO app, this is HBO on cable.
The best part was having that HBO Max name.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's HBO plus all the other Warner Brothers stuff.
Because at this point, you can't buy regular HBO unless you have it through a cable subscription, is my understanding.
Right.
Like, if you have it through cable subscription, you could have just HBO, but otherwise, if me and you want to go, because I don't have cable, I have to go through HBO Max. Like, that's what I get. Like, to me, they fixed that branding problem, and, I don't understand, because HBO is the definition of, the peak of television.
Oh, yeah, I mean, HBO is the one place that, if they release a series, it's must-see TV.
Right. Whether you're in that topic or not, it's one thing, but, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not the Netflix model of just shit everything out. It's the,
right.
There was a budget behind this, it was good.
At least the first season.
Yeah, fair. But and I don't know. And cash poor Warner Brothers, God help us all.
I mean, this is why they're cash poor, right? Like, this deal is... is why they're cash poor.
Really looking back, I am genuinely curious why this deal was never pulled the plug on.
I think it's the same thing behind the Microsoft Activision deal. Like, they're so far into it.
Yeah, but like I think the red flags were here sooner with the Microsoft Activision one. I could at least point to like isn't a bad idea on paper.
I mean, it's a bad idea on paper from the standpoint of any sort of competition, right? Mm-hmm. The deal itself is whatever, but what it does to the market is what's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. No, what does it mark? But I mean, from a company's point of view, I at least understand that deal. I don't understand this deal from Warner's point of view still. Like, I don't really understand what Paramount had that made that expensive worth it, and like your Warner, your Time Warner, like what?
Yeah.
Next to Disney, you're the most important entertainment company in the world.
Sony, probably.
You think so?
I mean, with everything that Sony has their hand in.
Okay.
You know, TV, film, music, games.
But Sony's a smaller company, at least their entertainment side.
Sony's massive. It's just you don't think of it as Sony because, like, you don't think of Columbia Records as Sony.
Or Columbia Pictures or a few others.
Like, they have a bunch of stuff that people just don't think of Sony. Which I always have to laugh, right? Like, the people that say, oh, well, Microsoft will buy Sony, right? And then we'll just have one console manufacturer. I'm like, Microsoft can't afford that.
They can afford PlayStation, they can't afford Sony.
Yeah. Yeah, you could afford PlayStation, but you're not getting Sony.
Except for a while, PlayStation was the only profitable part of Sony, so I don't think Sony would ever get rid of them.
Well,
Sony would start shedding other stuff for PlayStation.
Well, that was the problem, right? Like, Sony's tech has always been the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hands down. Anytime Sony gets into something, it's always the best. Betamax, better than VHS.
Mm-hmm.
But porn didn't catch on to Betamax.
Right.
They went to VHS because it was cheaper.
Sony, until I think they still own some percentage of every Blu-ray player, and
the Blu-ray is a Sony trademark, so
right.
Yeah,
and like those super HD ones, that's like Sony makes some of the best TVs on the market. Sony makes some of the best sound systems on the market, or at least works with like Dolby and stuff to like yeah. It is. People forget how much Sony is a true powerhouse of a company. It has like some public flaws, but like it is a true powerhouse.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a lot of that stuff is behind the scenes. Like, you just don't see it.
Like if I told someone to get a nice TV, Sony TVs are at least on the list. It's like Sony and Samsung. If you're going to spend money.
LG.
Oh, gee.
Their OLED is probably. If I was going to say,
hey,
buy one TV, I would
it's just
say
so much more. That's probably why I didn't go there. It's like because like there's this little level of like the Rokus and the like, and all that level. You go up to this next one, and I think that's where the Sony is with Samsung. And you go to that LG level, which I think you're going to spend like those OLEDs. You're spending money.
Yeah, it's $1,500 for I think a 60-inch, but it's also the best TV you'll ever have.
Right, and it'll last 15
a while.
Yeah. Okay. Final thing I got before we jump into a ton of trailers is I kind of talk about it because we kind of talked about when the Mario came out and stuff. Is we've been seeing this disconnect. You've been seeing in games too, but really in Hollywood, I think over these last 5-10 years of this like consumer
20 years
to reviewers like breaking really apart. And it's almost like, especially the Mario stuff, you saw reviewers like getting defensive on this. And I'm kind of curious of your head, because like to me it's interesting because there was a valid critique of like, hey, if reviewers aren't agreeing with any consumers, what is the point of reviewers? Which that's what reviewers got upset at. Because like and I'm curious, do you think it's like this idea of like when people talk about like news, right? When people talk about like, this idea of like media being separate from the average person, and I'm kind of curious if we're kind of seeing that same breakaway kind of happen of like the people who do this are like, I go see screeners, I go to the thing, like it's a very different world than the average person going to see a film, or if you have any thoughts like why is this really happening and now like really, really breaking apart?
I mean, here's the thing. At least on the film side of it, film critics are so up their own ass. It's not even funny. Right. And they judge every movie on the same scale. Right? Like, so they'd compare Interstellar with Jack and Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's going to be on the same exact scale. And that's where the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
Jack and Jill is a horrendous movie, but it's by no means the worst comedy out there, right?
Right. And comedy's a good example. It's so subjective.
Yeah. So, that's, obviously it would score like a 2 if you compare it to Interstellar. But if you compare Jack and Jill to, say, The Room,
mm-hmm.
it's probably more of like a 4. Film critics don't have the same scale sense that a consumer has.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Consumers go, oh, I liked X. Is Y like X? And if it is, they interact with it. And then it's, did I like Y better than X?
Mm-hmm.
They're comparing things
it's a sliding
to each other.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because to a consumer, the best film you ever saw is the 10, and then now it's, where does this correlate?
Right.
Is this 10 become a 5 because now I saw a bunch of things that are better, but it's still like this kind of weird thing.
Yeah, their scale is always changing.
Right. I also think the other thing, because I don't know how many, we think we've both been to press screen and stuff, but like, to me that always stood out was, always, and it's not just because I was in college time and I was the youngest, like, by even like 15, 20 years, I was the youngest person in these. And it's like, even now, if we look at a lot of that stuff, like, a lot of the, like, prestige, like, press things are, like, still newspapers, still these magazines where it is, like, senior editors doing this stuff, and it's like, at what point does that even that, like, I always point to, like, I like them more than you, but, like, the Marvel films always review almost poorly, like, just kind of universally, and, like, obviously the box office does not reflect that in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel is a great example of reviews horrendously, but they're fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Also, they're easy.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't super deep on the surface.
Mm-hmm. Like, if you really care about subject matter, you can pull in the bag, you're saying it. Like, when you go, if I'm a random guy who doesn't know Marvel and I go see them, they're this level of, like, I understand what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, they're all cookie cutters, so you know what's going to happen. And then they'll throw in the deep cuts with different references and things like that. But Interstellar is a great example, right? For whatever reason, I chose that. I don't know why. That film is very deep in its A-plot.
Mm-hmm.
So that film is very difficult to be like, hey, go watch this. The visuals are great. You'll need to watch this like 4 times to understand the story.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a Marvel movie, I could be like, hey, watch this. The visuals are great.
You understand enough what's happening. That
no one gives a shit about the story. Even Marvel doesn't care at this point. They don't know what they're doing, so they don't know what they're leading to. Hell, their big bad might be in jail.
That's the part that I've been actively thinking about of, like, because, like, Josh Brolin, a guy that never had any real scandals that matter. Musically, they go to the next big bad, and immediately you're like, oh no. And it's really hard, like I don't know, like when they announced Thanos in, like, 2010, it wasn't Josh Brolin. But now it's too real late to recast him to be this king. Like, and that's gonna be the weird, because like they've now shown him so much. Like, because like when you showed Thanos first time, like he was this weird CG mess, and it wasn't even Josh Brolin's voice, but no one cared if you saw him for like 2 seconds.
Right.
Like the post credit you could redo, or like maybe one thing, but like the amount of stress, I think is gonna be their problem.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Now we got a bunch of trailers. I'm gonna kind of speed through a few of these. We get stopped. We got something. Black Mirror season 6 was finally announced, which I didn't know if we would get or not. So I think I'm at least very excited. I'm assuming you're kind of at least hopeful for it.
I gave up on Black Mirror.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did 5 not hit a few?
I gave up after season 4,
Okay.
I think. Maybe it was season 5.
5 is very much a hit or miss season.
The season with the black and white episode with the robot dogs.
Okay, I think that's 5.
I only watched a few from that season.
Maybe it's 4, actually, looking at the episode list. I think you're thinking... Oh, yeah, you're thinking of Metalhead?
Yes.
That's 4, episode 5.
Yeah, that was a good season. Like, they had a lot of really good episodes there.
Yeah, 'cause it started with the USS California.
Yeah, that episode was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like at this point, Black Mirror is the thing that made the British Black Mirror great.
Which is like seasons 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, seasons 1 and 2. Was that it was stuff ripped straight from the headlines.
Right.
I mean, literally the first episode was a scandal that broke in the UK.
Right, like, it was interesting, because, like, they ripped the headlines and just took it one step further, but it felt real because of that.
And then they just started to get a little too off the rails. And to me, the thing that makes Black Mirror great is what made the first 2 seasons of Westworld great.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like, okay, what's real? What's not real? Like, you know, what's really going on? You know, there's a bigger plot that I don't understand. And it just felt like they lost that.
Okay. Next thing I want to talk about, Flash. The second trailer is out. Did you get a chance to watch this trailer?
Yes. Yep.
I am scared because I generally think this looks good.
It looks alright.
Like, and the rumblings is it's supposed to be good. Like, I know we're gonna, but like the Michael Keaton stuff, like all of that, like it genuinely, like either Michael Keaton took the biggest payday of his life to suck, or we got classic Keaton back.
Do you think the suit is sucking Keaton off?
I am also curious, because, like, we know we have Keaton and we have Affleck in this.
Yeah.
I am still curious if another Batman will show up at some point. When they're...
I mean, you'd only get Bale, right? Like,
but, like,
Val Kilmer is way too frail. Maybe Clooney.
No. But, like, even if one of them just kind of shows up for a second, like, I think this is the film that could both get away with fan service, and I think it could help it.
I don't think you would bring in Bat-Pat.
No, I don't think so. I think it would be like Bale. I think it would be like you give Bale $20 million to show up for 2 minutes and fight.
Right.
Like it could be like a suit CG fight, but you show his face. Like I mean, like a full blown. Just show us Bale. That's what we want for 2 minutes and go and just move on.
Right. I could see that. The only thing I would say is that they can't get too freaky with it.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a line.
Because they need to bring it back.
But you're talking about the Flash running through universes. I see a word where he like jumps into one or like somehow accidentally pulls him, kind of.
Yeah.
Like that's more what I'm kind of picturing.
Yeah, I could see that. It just feels like they're setting themselves up for even more failure if they get a little too out of into the weeds. Like this movie is already walking on eggshells. You can't have bad public opinion.
No, this needs to for both for both Warner and for James Gunn to be taking this because how much he's been like batting for this. I think this is like if this comes out and sucks and James Gunn is fighting like really publicly like shouting the fringes, I think the whole DC reboot is questionable.
Right.
Where like if this comes out and it actually is Gunn was right and it's amazing or at least a very very good film, I think they gained credibility back that they've been losing.
Potentially. I think part of the reason that they have no credibility is they refuse to acknowledge Batpat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that a separate Batman? Is it, like... they don't want to say, hey, this is in-universe Batman, but maybe they'll reference it in Flash, which... Flash is enough CG that you could get away with something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, so
we'll see.
We'll see. Next thing we got, I just had to shout it out, the Transformers trailer. I think it looks good. Which we haven't really, like the like Bumblebee, I think is the best live action Transformers film we've had. But like, I'm curious as we get further away from
what are you
Michael
talking
Bay.
about? Transformers 4 is the best Transformers.
Okay, which one? Is that the dinosaurs with Wahlberg? 4 is the dinosaurs and 5's Lost Night, right? 4's
Sure.
Age of Extinction, I think.
4 is the one I worked on, so that's why it's the best one.
I'm sorry, do you still get like your 20-cent checks every few months or something?
No, when you're production, you don't get royalty checks.
I know.
Unfortunately.
But like, I think, because like Bumblebee was like, I think they showed us like, if you draw it down, then you know how to make a Transformers film, or at least good enough. Like, comparatively to like Age of Extinction or like Most the Bay and all that. Like, those are not, like, I'm not defending those.
Yeah.
But I think Bumblebee actually showed they could find that spirit. And like this is almost like I'm like really hopeful in like a post Bumblebee production time that they figured it out.
Who knows? We'll see.
And then second to last trailer, Gran Turismo. I just had it on there because if you haven't seen the trailer, people need to go check it out because it's like really good. And I didn't expect this trailer to be really good, even though I guess I should have because of the director.
The thing of it is, they could have just made the actual documentary about this, which I think exists.
Mm-hmm.
They could just remade that, and it would have been fine. I feel like they might get a little too Hollywood.
That's very valid.
Like, for those that don't know, this movie's covering the Gran Turismo Driver Academy, which is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do it, actually.
Really? I didn't know you could still do it.
Yeah, it's a yearly thing.
Okay.
And it was this contest where the best, I believe it was 24 drivers on Gran Turismo got invited to Japan, I believe it was. And then they raced down to 6. I think
In the simulators.
Yeah, in simulators. And then they took those 6 drivers and taught them how to be real race car drivers. And then the guy that won that literally raced at Le Mans in an R35 GTR as part of the Nissan racing team.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done that now for I don't know how many years. And they've got, I think they have 2 teams now that are all graduates of this driver academy.
That's wild.
That are just drivers, like they're 4 driver teams. So, I am a little worried that it's going to be a little too Hollywood, but yeah.
That's right. But do you agree though too? The trailer, at least I generally think
cool.
was like I did not expect the trailer to be this good. And then our final trailer that came out as we are talking today for a film that comes out exactly 6 months from now is goddamn Dune Part 2.
Paul Atreides becomes Jesus.
How excited are you for, I'm assuming, what is your current favorite director's film?
Dude, I am seeing this
in the biggest screen.
In IMAX the day it comes out. Or one of the days it comes out. Chris Nolan's my favorite director. Denis Villeneuve is my favorite that's actually making stuff right now.
That's fair. Well, we do have a Christopher Nolan film this year, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I will be shocked if this is not one of the most critically praised films of the year.
I think it's going up against Oppenheimer. Like, Best Picture is going to be Dune and Oppenheimer, and
I think you're probably right, and because I don't know anything else that's come out this year that I think could really fight it. Like, unless something we don't know if it's going to come out of left field, but like realistically, I think these are the fights.
Yeah.
So we will see. But
God, how many categories are they going to go up against each other? Because it's going to be
best cinematography, best sound,
cinematography, sound design, costume design, adaptation. Best film.
It's gonna literally be like
director, actor, supporting actor, actress, support. At least 10.
It's gonna be one of those.
Production design 11. It's gonna be like 16 different categories that Oppenheimer and Dune are gonna
probably best costume at least for Dune.
Yeah,
but not maybe a little question, but like Dune, I'm assuming we'll get some like best costume.
I think they won it the year that the first Dune came out, so
that makes sense. It was 21, yeah. So yeah, if you've not checked out these trailers, go check them out. Now jumping into some of this stuff. First, obviously we were shouting out because we called it last time when we were, at the end we were like E3's not happening, and literally like 2 days later they were like, no E3 this year, officially. There is no electronic something expo.
Electronic Entertainment Expo.
That's there is no E3 this year. They claim there will be maybe possibly an E3 next year. My money is we're never seeing an E3 ever again. But
I mean, that will heavily depend on the success of Summer Games Fest this year.
If Summer Games Fest is successful again, we're never seeing E3 ever again.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like I think at this point, like if especially like you're seeing stuff like Microsoft is doing their own thing, like you see all these people like still doing their own thing around that, and they're like, hey, we can still quote unquote be part of Summer Game Fest because like Jeff Keighley will still promote us, but be separate and it's still cheaper, and we don't have to deal with like all of this live demo stuff that's just headaches and stress and like all of that stuff.
I mean, they still do, but not to the same extent.
Not to this. It's not the same though. As like, because if I'm handing it on to press even behind closed doors, it's different than me handing it to random consumer.
Well, and the thing about Summer Games Fest demo specifically is they don't show pre-alpha stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if a game is announced at Summer Games Fest that has a demo, it's playable.
Right, and it doesn't have a demo, it means they're just doing a flash CG trailer, most likely.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a very different beast.
Now, do people still take backdoors appointments? Yes.
Obviously, but those are different. Like, when you're dealing with a press who does this professionally, it's a very different discussion of, something might be broke. You could kind of explain this to them in very different ways than if I'm just handing it to, like, a random person.
Right.
So.
Yeah. God, do you think Kenny Omega's going to be there just playing Street Fighter for 12 hours?
Probably, and I also just am hoping he's there, and then that's when they just announce the date for the AEW game.
What comes first, the date for the AEW game, or the announcement that AEW is going to Japan?
What? Why aren't those the same day?
They're definitely not the same day.
AEW has to, because like I'm assuming the next time you see you see this year's Cross obviously is happening in Canada. Yeah, I'm assuming next
Forbidden
year.
Door. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming next year's Forbidden Door is Japan.
It's got to be.
Right. Like,
Maybe
I was
Mexico?
shocked this year's wasn't.
God, dude. Forbidden Door, AAA. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Give me all the El Higo. I would go to that. Legitimately, I would fly to Mexico City
It'd be in Mexico City, obviously.
to watch AEW AAA Forbidden Door.
Yeah, because you can't do New Japan if you do that. Isn't it like the whole thing with like...
You
Because
could.
they're partnered with the other Mexican promotion, I thought.
Oh, yeah, CMA.
Yeah, so that's what I thought the problem was. That's why a bunch of people weren't able to do Forbidden Door last year, was because of that.
No, that was COVID stuff still.
No, but there was also some people who were, some of them were like a joint AEW, AAA contracts, and they couldn't do Forbidden Door. Like,
Were the
God,
Bucks
who's
on
Charlotte Flair's husband?
Well, no, he was injured.
Was he injured? I thought that was probably with that. And also, God, who's the tag team? I can't think of right now. The
Fenix and
yeah,
Pentagon? Yeah.
they went on. That was why it's
Lucha
their
Bros.
contract.
I think is what they're...
Yeah, Lucha Bros.
I
know
don't
there was
think
a bunch
they
of
would've been
injuries.
Good on...
There was a bunch of
Forbidden
injuries
Door,
and stuff
but,
too, but like that was like I knew there was like some of that contract stuff too.
Well, and a lot of that also got cleared up because of Forbidden Door.
Yeah, they
So-
fixed some of that now, so we'll see. But I think it'll be some weird stuff. But yeah, next thing we got. By the way, Unity announced 600 new layoffs today. It's just fun job market stuff.
I mean, this is just the tech
This is the
world
tech
just sizing
imploding.
down to what it was.
Yeah, this is most of the. I'm convinced that 90% of the tech layoffs we are seeing is people overhired during COVID.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all, but I really think the bulk of these are. Looking at like the numbers, and you look at even the companies
yeah.
that are shrinking, most of them are still above their 2019 employment
Right.
numbers.
Yeah.
And they're like, until they get under those numbers, I'm not convinced it's not because of that. And Unity is a good
Absolutely.
example of a company that like grew like 40% in 3 years. Like those are not sustainable numbers in the size they were.
Right. Yeah, they needed all the support staff for all the people that got laid off due to COVID that started making games.
Or they also put a ton of money into like metaverse stuff and all that, and that's obviously.
Hey, who's been preaching that, that meta shit ain't gonna work?
I think we both have for like a solid. At my day job, the collapse of metaverse has been the most satisfying thing for me. For the last year and a half, I've been calling it out, being like, "We do not need to follow this. This is not sustainable. This is not real." And I have been like, "I am right." Like it's been the most like my hands are up. Like I told you.
Yeah, but let's be real. I told you. You were like, oh, maybe there's something. I'm like, no, this ain't gonna work.
I still think there could be something in like a small economic scale, but not to the scale these companies were doing it.
Yeah.
Like I think if you said, I have a 20-person startup that needs 10 million of annual revenue for metaverse funding, that's a sustainable business model. Not if I'm Facebook turning into Meta and I need billions of dollars a quarter.
Yeah.
That's why I say there is a micro number of sustainable. Like anything, there's a micro number of sustainable. But it's not the next big thing.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. The other thing that needs to be shouted out is Suicide Squad officially comes out next year. I'm not even talking about the date because we'll see what hits it. I don't know what the hell they could do in 9 months. Like, I think
Hey,
they're
a
fucked.
bunch of people are gonna have kids in 9 months, so.
Sure. Speaking of them being fucked, but
Yeah.
and then, wow, this is where the fun news starts.
This is Rocksteady getting fucked by who's the publisher for this?
Warner. It's Warner, but
Warner's laying that pipe on Rocksteady. And they're like, hey, you need to delay this 9 months. Why? Because I just impregnated you.
and then the first.
You're going to push out a little shit that's going to cost us for 18 years in the next 9 months.
And then the next thing we have to talk about, though, officially in the UK, the Microsoft Activision deal is blocked.
This is fully blocked.
So in my understanding of the UK procedures is they can only get them to change their mind if they can on like UK's visa on procedural grounds. They can't get them to change like their opinion. So they could go back and be like, in this part of the decision, you made some sort of wrong thing according to the law. They could get them, but they can't like in the US, you can actually submit documents or go in front of them and try to convince them to change their mind. My understanding is you cannot do that in the UK.
No.
And the UK is a big enough market where this stops the deal.
Yeah. I mean, this deal is, funnily enough, this deal is being killed because of Stadia.
Which for that good. I don't know if I agree on the reasoning for it being blocked.
No,
the argument is cloud gaming, and I don't cloud technology, and to me that would only be valid if Activision had some sort of cloud technology that they're using to boost it.
It was more to do with the revenue around cloud gaming.
Right, but like that's such a weird submarket, and like especially like if Apple or Google got into it and now mobile games could all be streamed, like that revenue thing would just be thrown out of the water immediately.
Well, they have a precedent, so that's what they would go off of.
Mm-hmm.
Having their app stores. And the, they have data for that, right? Like, there is no data for an acquisition this size. Mm-hmm. And what it would do specifically in the gaming market.
Right. And the gaming market's the biggest acquisition ever. So, we will see. My guess is we'll know probably the next few months if this is for sure blocked, because they're going to still try to appeal it and try to give them procedural grounds, but like, it's at least dead in the water for now. And the thing that people are getting too is if this deal does not go through, Microsoft has to pay Activision $3 billion just in cash, which is not going to kill Microsoft by any stretch, but like that's still like a punishment enough where Microsoft's going to try to make this thing fucking go through.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the next thing that's happening, Sega bought Rovio, by the way, over the last month.
Mm-hmm. Mobile developers getting bought up.
That was a weird one to wake up to when I saw that rumor. I didn't like.
I wasn't surprised as much as I was surprised that Rovio was still just Rovio.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought for sure somebody bought them at some point, but
same. I would have thought if you told me like Warner was owned, like Rovio was owned by someone like Warner, I just would have believed you. Like just because I'm like, there's no way that they're still an independent.
Right. Yeah. They just kept doing their thing in Sweden, and now the Japanese own them.
I'm like, sure, they're not as big as they were, but like I'm like, just at some point you think someone would have bought them for a few billion and just kind of new owner, like just one of those, like. So, next thing is Media Molecules Dreams is officially ending support at the 22nd of this month, which is another one that I just don't understand. Like throughout this whole cycle of this game, I want to know who the hell greenlit this game and just kind of slap them.
Dreams has produced a lot of really cool stuff. Don't get me wrong.
I think Dreams is a really cool concept.
Yeah.
I think Dreams is a horrible thing to base your entire studio off of that also was never ported to stuff like PC, which still blows my mind.
I mean, even the Little Big Planet games were never ported.
Sure, Little Big Planet, though, was a game with a tool. This was just a tool.
Right.
I do think there's a fundamental difference of explaining this to consumers and making this profitable and going to those magnitudes of being like, it'd be like me handing you Unity and I'm like, well, other people make games with Unity. Go, that's not, it's not the same.
Right. I think the problem with Dreams was they wanted to make money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Dreams was not to make money with.
Right.
Dreams is Minecraft creative mode.
Mm-hmm.
Dreams is Roblox. Dreams is take your pick, right?
And all the things we just said didn't, Roblox now is Roblox. Go back when we were growing up, Roblox was, it's very different. Like, it didn't start out as just this creation tool.
Yeah, I mean, nobody played Roblox when I was a kid.
Like, it existed, but
we played RuneScape, and then we went to Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So, that is that. Next, I just want to shout, apparently, the Harry Potter game.
Oh, it did gangbusters, dude.
256% of its estimates.
Hey, people like that weird shit.
Is wild. And I just wanted to shout that out because it is funny because how much the games media was boycotting that game, it did not matter.
Yeah, this is a great example of, critics don't mean shit anymore, so.
Because, like, Wired infamously gave it a 1 out of 10 just because they didn't like J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, see, I think we can wrap around to the review discussion of it's stuff like that people just...
Yeah.
Reviewers that purposefully review bomb, like, as a profession in that way.
Mm-hmm.
People that just review bomb on Metacritic, no one cares. Like, user score does not matter on Metacritic because, shit, one thing could go wrong and it gets review bombed.
Speaking of review bomb, I did not write it down. I think it's worth us shouting out that Waypoint is officially going away at the end of the month, and the rumors are that Vice is about to declare just bankruptcy and go away entirely.
My favorite thing from the collapse of Waypoint was Palmer Lucky's rant that he went on. And he was like, famously the send off on the Waypoint podcast was like, fuck capitalism or something like that.
Right.
And I'm like, in a way, like, I don't really agree with Palmer Luckey whatsoever. But also, yeah, like, if that's going to be your send off, I hate to say it, you're not going anywhere in this world.
No, it is very interesting because they were a group of people that very much like us. They were the politics of the sleep.
Nope, Mike's internet just crashed. He's now frozen. He's hella frozen. He's super duper frozen. Oh, this is funny. There, he's back.
Am I back?
You're back with some bullshit.
This is my Jack Nicholson book end from The Shining.
Sure.
What I was saying though, too, like with them, like obviously were the politics on their sleeve, but it is interesting that like they didn't understand that if that was their politics on their sleeve, that at a certain point it's really hard to be profitable. Like,
or make any money, right? Like,
right, like, yeah.
Yeah, that's always where, those people figure out, like, oh, I need to live. This isn't going to work. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. Sometimes you got to play ball.
Right, and you can still live.
There he goes again. His internet's onto him. We're talking about the commies and his internet decides to cut him out. Big tech is making sure that we can't have this conversation. Good Lord, dude. I know he kind of lives in the sticks. But he lives in a suburban Chicago suburb. I know that's redundant, but how can he... Mike, how is your internet so bad? How? Genuinely... Oh! There he is. How is your internet so bad, dude? Good Lord.
Okay, no more big tech talk. Well, actually, we do.
No more big tech talk. We gotta shut this shit down. Big tech is onto us. They're killing your internet.
It's fine. I did want to shout out the next big tech story. We have officially, Apple v. Epic was officially ruled upon, and as shock of no one, Epic basically lost everything. Besides, like, some sub parts of the ruling.
Yeah, some very small things. But... We talked big tech. I told you not to talk big tech.
Fine. No, none of that.
Just skip that Staten's leaving. Just skip it. That's big tech. Skip Netflix. Fine. That's big tech.
Fine. Over 20 seconds before it kills us entirely. Jason Statham left 3 for 3. We don't know what the hell's going on there. Apparently Netflix made a boy game and he's running it. Game's coming out. We have Zelda coming out on the 12th. System Shock remake comes out on May 30th. Street Fighter 6, at some point with Kenny Omega playing it, comes out on June 2nd. Diablo 4 comes out on the 6th. Final Fantasy 16 comes out on June 22nd. Newly announced Armored Core 6 comes out August 25th. And I'm not kidding you, that's basic. And we have Starfield coming out September 6th. We literally have, like, no other games announced this year.
Yeah, it's a weird year.
Like there's like a bunch of like B and C tier that we don't care about. Maybe like June and May I put in there, but like we really don't know what the hell's going on in Qs 3 and 4. Like we know nothing.
That was supposed to be the era of everyone's games got pushed during COVID, so they pushed them to 23 Q3. That's not happening.
Right. So I don't know what is going on. I'm hoping that we'll just know more during the Summer Game Fest and all the side conferences. But like,
I assume a lot of that stuff will be cleared up. Yeah.
Same, but like as of now, we really know like, and we have a bunch of stuff like that was been announced, so we know it's being worked on. We just don't have dates, but like, it's a weird year,
right?
Like we assume Spider-Man's in there and stuff, but like we just don't know.
Well, the Jordans dropped today, so you know Spider-Man 2's.
And they announced a prequel comic too, so like you know it's coming, but we just don't have dates. So.
Right.
See, and then it is time for Movie Club. I gave us 3 options. I think we know what is going to be chosen here, but I thought it was...
It's all about the family, man.
To be fair, there are 2 movies here about family.
All 3 of them are about family. That was a joke.
The 3 films are Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Fast X, or The Little Mermaid. I couldn't even take it seriously. It's Fast X, right?
Oh, absolutely. Damn straight. I would only see Guardians 3 for this.
And, like, I think it's going to be enjoyable. Like, I think even for you, I think Guardians 3 you could find enjoyment out of it. I'd say it's not fully cup of tea. I don't think that one I'd be punishing you like some of the other ones. But
yeah, it's Fast X.
Yeah, 100%. It is time... Because there's only... Is it 11? Is it one more movie after this?
Yeah,
Fast Universe?
11's the last one.
So yeah, it is time for Fast X. God.
It's time for the Fast Saga to come to an end.
Are you ready for Jason Momoa to somehow just... That trailer is the most intense thing for no reason humanly possible.
Well, and what is it? Momoa is...
His brother?
No, he's the son of...
Right, that's what it is.
Is he the son of the guy that Dom kills?
Yes, that's it.
That's, yeah. Welcome to the Fast and Furious franchise, where they literally went to space in the last one.
And don't forget, we assume there's body switching in this film.
Potentially.
I
hope this film kills off Paul Walker's character, because they've referenced him since he died. Like, oh, he just can't make it. Like,
right? And like, remember at the end of 9 where they teased him?
Yeah. Yeah, his car pulls up. I mean, it's literally the blue R34.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the silver, but it was the blue R34. You're like, okay, this is going to be Brian. And they tease that someone shows up. So
right. I think we just all kind of assumed.
Yeah. Very safe assumption.
Very safe. But yeah, that is all we've got for you. That's everything. That's an entire month's worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you. Join us. We'll be back next week with I think a real game.
A real man's game.
So we're playing My Little Pony.
Hell yeah.
The SWW Show and all of its affiliate podcasts are podcast by me, Mike Maroney, and AJ Losi, sometimes by our contributors, including Corey King. You can follow the SWW Show on social media at the SWW Show, or sooner or later you go to patreon.com/SWW to help us out. Thank you. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day.